Hey, what's going on, Archons? Welcome to KeyThoughts. Been a minute since I've done this. Been providing other video content, but this one has fallen by the wayside just due to other things needing to be talked about. And this week, it's going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but I wanted to talk about the concept of documenting your games with a deck. And I don't mean that by like actually recording, although you could do that. But what I mean is any deck that you're trying to glean information from, discover in some way, really get to know. I think there's a lot of value in recording some stats and information about how you do with the deck and notable things. So what I mean by that is, well, have you noticed that I did those Can You Fall in Love with a Deck video series, and in both of those I played the deck like 10 times. I think that is a really solid number for noting what a deck can do and getting a feel for it. And what I would do is I'd take a notebook and I'd write down the room that I played in when I was on TCO. Was it a casual or competitive? I'd write down the houses that were in the deck I faced, the set the deck was from, and then the name itself in case I wanted to check up its rating on decks of KeyForge later, which I have not done for anything. I just wanted that there for posterity. And then as the game progresses, I just note down things that happen, like, oh, this was awesome that this occurred and I was able to pull this off, or oh, these things together worked really well, or my opponent had this type of deck and I noticed it really hurt this aspect of what this deck did. Just making little anecdotes and notes of what happened within the game that you need to be mindful of that is relevant for the deck. And then as you go, you look back at these notes, and especially when you get to game 10, it's a really ideal time to kind of look back. So I like this approach, and doing it with these two decks made me realize when there's other things I want to test, particularly I think alliance builds, this is going to be really helpful for just seeing what you go up against. Alliance has a way different feel of KeyForge to a certain degree in terms of the meta, and I think that's a very unique and fun part of it. So I'm really enjoying the alliance aspect, and I think noting down the matchups and what occurred is going to be very strong for helping you understand the deck and what needs to be tweaked. And that's kind of a key thing with alliance is you don't just need to understand the deck, but you can understand the deck and then discover, wow, it's kind of lacking here. What could I bring in to make this better? Which is a really fun part of the game that has not really existed before. And I'm excited to explore that. So I do recommend the note-taking and documentation for that reason. On the other side of why I like this is I find it makes me feel a little bit more connected and invested in a deck and what it does. So I like that part for my own play experience that I just discovered this quite recently, actually. I've never really taken notes like this, and it really enriches the play experience for me. It may not be for everyone, but I wanted to share that here so that people know that if you're not trying it, give it a try. It's pretty fun, and it gives you something to refer to and realize about something. And I've been getting a lot out of it. So do check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Alliance stuff, like, yeah, it's invaluable, I think, to be able to recognize and see a pattern maybe emerge of greatness or sorrow within a deck, and is there something that can be done to tweak it. So I hope you've enjoyed this shorter episode of Key Thoughts, but I just wanted to share this one because this was, I thought, pretty useful, and I wanted to make sure that this became something that other people could try out if it had never crossed their mind before. I hope it has, but if not, well, may Ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly.